You're not alone if you've ever experienced that bothersome, persistent mucus in your throat that simply won't go away no matter what you do. Millions of people experience excessive throat mucus brought on by sinus problems. What if I told you that there was a straightforward natural remedy hiding in your kitchen cupboard that may help get rid of that bothersome mucus permanently? It's salt. Yes, you read correctly. Sodium chloride may hold the secret to at last experiencing relief. But how precisely does salt relieve respiratory infections and mucus in the throat? The answer may surprise you. You see, salt has some pretty amazing antimicrobial properties. For centuries, it's been used to preserve foods by preventing bacterial growth. That's why they add salt when curing meats and making sauerkraut. The high salt concentration actually kills off the microbes. Well, it turns out that this same principle applies inside our bodies too. When you expose bacteria, fungus, yeast, or mold to a high-salt environment, the salt literally sucks the water out of the microbes, turning them into dehydrated dead particles. Pretty cool, right? But salt's benefits don't stop there. It also happens to be great at thinning out mucus. Have you ever noticed how watery and runny your nose gets after eating really salty food? That's because salt helps break up and thin out mucus, making it easier for your body to expel. So when you have an infection somewhere in your respiratory tract, whether it's your sinuses, ears, tonsils, or throat, using salt can help both kill off the invading microbes and thin out the mucus they're producing, providing much-needed relief. But here's the million-dollar question. What's the best way to harness salt's healing powers? Fortunately, there are solutions to suit every budget. The simplest and least expensive way to begin is to simply dissolve a teaspoon of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan salt in a glass of warm water. By consuming this briny mixture, you'll be exposing your mouth and throat to the antimicrobial properties. Just make sure to use natural salt rather than processed table salt with additives. It's also crucial to remember that you should speak with your doctor before significantly increasing your salt intake, even for medicinal purposes. Gargling with salt water can be even more beneficial if you are sensitive to salt because it specifically targets the back of your throat. Pro tip: to give your salt water an extra dose of microbial destruction, add a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Nasal irrigation with a saline rinse bottle or neti pot can be quite beneficial. If you think you may have a fungal sinus infection, they allow you to directly pour sterile salt water into your nasal passages, thinning and flushing away any stubborn infected mucus. Another way to get saltwater vapor straight into your lungs as you sleep is with a humidifier. Just make sure to use sterile water and clean the humidifier often to avoid mold and mineral accumulation. Long-lasting mist can greatly relieve congestion. If you have more money, you might want to think about getting a halotherapy machine. These are essentially upscale salt vaporizers. While most people's persistent throat mucus is caused by bacteria living somewhere in their respiratory tract, addressing any underlying vitamin deficiencies that may be weakening your immune system is just as important. If acid reflux is the cause, you'll need a more comprehensive approach to control the burn and prevent stomach acid from creeping up and irritating your throat. In particular, vitamin D appears to be important. To summarize, if you're among the millions of people suffering from recurrent throat mucus, try these natural remedies first. Gargling, drinking it, using a humidifier or neti pot, add some apple cider vinegar for extra microbial fighting power. But what about prevention? Is there a way to prevent the mucus and infections from returning? Diet is a major factor. To help your immune system function at its peak, consider avoiding dairy and limiting added sugars, refined carbohydrates, and processed foods. If you're prone to chronic mucus, consider cutting out dairy and focusing on eating a wide variety of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins instead. Prioritizing sleep and managing stress are also essential for preventing recurrent infections. If you found this information helpful, please share it with your friends and family who are suffering from mucus. You never know when they might need a helping hand to get rid of that pesky mucus and prevent it from coming back. Also, remember that your body has an amazing capacity to heal itself when given the right tools, so sometimes the simplest solutions like salt water can be the most effective. So the next time you feel that familiar tickle in the back of your throat, reach for the salt shaker instead of the cough syrup. If you found this video valuable, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button for more.